Hello everybody! It's time to ruffle some feathers and piss off some Karens. If you're involved in the writing community, whether that's through social media or writing groups, you'll see a lot of writer facts floating around. And a lot of them are bullshit. Writers are like all other people. We're flawed and fallible. We spread misinformation usually because we haven't done the research ourselves and don't know any better. But I've done the research. A lot of research. And a lot of those writer facts are bald-faced lies. Let's rectify that problem, shall we? Today I am listing the 10 worst lies told by the writing community to the writing community. There are so many lies out there, I could make a whole series on this topic, but today I am focusing on the most common, most detrimental lies to the writing, publishing, and marketing process. For the sake of avoiding redundancy, I'm not going to cover some of the most obvious lies like writers don't need an editor, or writers can make their own book cover, or writing isn't a real job. At this point, you should know all those lies are crap, and if you don't, I got nothing for you. You're beyond help. The lies I'm listing today are the ones that I see people regularly falling for. They take these lies as fact because they're so widespread. Don't believe this crap. I'm here to set the record straight and save your future novel from potential disaster. You're welcome. Before we get started, today is the last day to enter the Savior Series fan art contest. So get your drawings, get your digital images, get your calligraphy, your memes, whatever, and get them entered today. You still have time, but it's slipping away. I've got the entry form with all the details linked below. 3 lucky winners will be walking away with massive prize packages, so you definitely want to get entered before it's too late. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I post new videos on Wednesdays, and if you want to be alerted as soon as I upload, ring that bell. It does me a huge solid and helps me out with the YouTube algorithm gods. Plus, we have a good time here. We have lots of fun. We share lots of information and education with a hefty side of dick jokes and F-bombs. What's better than that? Subscribe. The Savior's Champion and the Savior Sister are available in ebook, paperback, hardback, and audiobooks. So if you like dark fantasy and you like action adventure and you love yourself some romance, check out these books today. They are linked below. They were #1 bestsellers. They're award winners. They're awesome. Pick up a copy or 2 or 10 or 20 today. Now I'm breaking down the 10 worst lies told by writers to writers. Today's topic was requested by one of my patrons over on Patreon, Tremaine. They wanted to hear all the dirt about the lies spread within the writing community, and you know me. I love to spread the truth. And I don't mind being a bit of an asshole, which is perfect for this topic. Thank you so much for requesting this. The people need to know. When you hear any of this bullshit, run in the opposite direction. #1, all it takes is a good book to be a success. So that's garbage. Yes, it's a lot easier to market a good book versus a bad book. However, how many shitty books have become #1 New York Times bestsellers? A whole lot of them. Good marketing can sell anything. It sold cigarettes, it sold the Kardashians. Hell, it sold low-rise jeans and brought them back. So if you think marketing is pointless in the writing industry, you, my friend, are a dumbass. All it takes is good marketing, not a good book. It takes advertisement, promotions, and exposure. This is not my way of encouraging you to write a terrible book. We've read enough of that shit. Our eyes are bleeding. My point is, it doesn't matter how beautiful your writing is if you don't market it. And if you don't believe me for whatever reason, take a good look at all the New York Times bestsellers that are objectively terrible. If you want to get into the industry, understand that your book is a product and you need to learn how to sell it. #2, anyone can write a good book. This one's gonna get me in trouble, but what else is new? Yes, it's true, anyone can write a book, but not anyone can write a good book, and this is why. There are 2 major components that go into writing a good book. First is great storytelling, second is great writing. Great storytelling is unbridled creativity. This is a skill that you can grow, but there's usually some natural talent born into it. Great writing, on the other hand, is something you practice. You have to study grammar, syntax, and punctuation in order to make your prose correct and engaging. However, some writers have the innate ability to tell an amazing story, but their writing is crap. which unfortunately results in a crappy book. Then there are writers who whip out perfect prose, but their story is purposeless, which also results in a crappy book. You need to nail both of these skills, storytelling and writing, in order to write a good book. And plenty of writers can do this, but a lot of writers don't want to. How many writers laugh over the fact that they have no concept of grammar, or brag about the fact that they don't structure their stories? These are the same writers who wonder why no one's reading their books. The point is, while everyone can write a book, not everyone can write a good one. Not necessarily because they're incapable, but because it takes a lot more growth and learning than they're willing to put in. Too many of us are looking for a quick fix, and unfortunately, the writing industry ain't it. Number 3, you absolutely have to have a writing coach. Do you really? Writing coaches, and really all kinds of coaches, are super popular on the internet for a variety of reasons. 1, because people crave mentorship. They want someone to show them the ropes. And 2, because coaching is insanely lucrative. A lot of coaching services make grand promises, especially via monetary goals. But have the coaches themselves met these monetary goals? But Jenna, my coach, has. They promised me 5 figures a month, and they're making 5 figures a month. Did they say how they're making 5 figures a month? It's common for writers to diversify their income. I do it myself. A lot of coaches will use their income as a selling point to their very expensive services. What they're not revealing is that it's those exact services that are making up a bulk of their income. They're not making money from book sales, they're making money off of you. And realistically, if they were making 5 figures a month solely off book sales, they wouldn't need to coach. The point is, it's fine to seek out a coach, but do your research and read between the lines. If their books alone were making them millions, they wouldn't be coaching, so don't fall for that line. Number 4, indie books can't get into bookstores. Well, that's weird because my books are in bookstores. Here's the tea. Getting into bookstores mostly depends on reach, pricing, and demand. There's a whole lot more that goes into it, but I'm summarizing. I'm gonna start with reach. If you publish your book through a wide distribution network, like the Ingram network, that makes your book available to bookstores. Ingram Spark is an obvious choice for this because it has a direct link to the Ingram network, but publishing through Ingram Spark does not guarantee a bookstore presence. Which brings us to pricing. When you publish physical books online, you essentially get to choose a percentage that will go to the seller of your book and a percentage that will go to you. I'm putting this in layman's terms for the sake of brevity, alright? Bookstores typically have a seller price they're willing to accept, and if your book doesn't meet that threshold, it's probably not going to end up in their store. However, if you do meet their threshold, that gives you a higher chance of shelving. Which brings us to demand. It's common for retailers to stock merchandise based on demand, and bookstores are no different. If your book is in high demand, bookstores will likely stock it, because they want to make money. The bottom line is, indie books can absolutely be stocked in bookstores based on these 3 qualities. The more qualifiers you meet, the better your odds. I only meet 2 of them, but I'm doing pretty great. Number 5, you have to release 5, 10, or 20 books a year to be successful. Not sure if this was clear already, but the number of books you release isn't directly correlated to your success. It all depends on, what was it? Oh right, marketing. A lot of platforms recommend the rapid release method, which is a valid and proven tactic. Rapid release relies on releasing a ton of books in rapid succession in order to make a solid profit. This method relies on quantity. You've got a zillion products available, which means you're diversifying your chance for income. Thus, if one book fails, that's fine, because you got other books out there to make you money. This is a method that works for plenty of people, but to claim that it is the only valid method, especially for indie authors, is ridiculous. There are a ton of ways to make good money off of slower releases, and all of those ways boil down to having a strategic marketing plan. If you're a slower writer like myself, you don't have to worry. You can release your novels at a reasonable pace, just be sure to research the marketing side of the business. Number 6, you have to write every day. Nope. Let's get the obvious out of the way. The more often you write, the sooner you'll finish your book. That doesn't mean you have to write every day. You don't have to do anything anyone tells you to do. All you have to do is whatever works for you. Some people write every day. Others physically can't due to work, health, family, or school obligations. That's fine. This whole writing thing ain't that deep. I'd spend more time figuring out which writing method is enjoyable and productive for you versus trying to fit into arbitrary rules that don't even exist. Number 7, if you can't pants a novel, you don't have the natural talent to be a writer. Imagine thinking that a lack of foresight and organization makes you superior. I'm just gonna wing it, cause I'm better than you. In no other career is this considered positive. If you were about to go under the knife and your surgeon said, I'm just gonna make it up as I go along, cause I got natural talent, you would run for the fucking door. I'm not here to shade pantsers. It's fine if that's the route you want to go, but natural talent has nothing to do with your preferred writing process. Natural talent has everything to do with your creativity, imagination, and the end result of your story. Pay attention to the people who repeat this lie. It's usually guys who have never published a book in their life, but they assume pantsing makes them special because Stephen King does it. Number 8, no tears in the reader, no tears in the writer. What if I told you some people just aren't that emotional? This is another situation where process doesn't dictate talent. People are varied and diverse, and writing processes are also varied and diverse. It's kind of like saying if you're not method acting, no one's gonna believe your performance. Over half of Hollywood would beg to differ. A lot of people think method acting just makes you an asshole. Writing is a different experience for everyone. Some writers see their characters as precious babies, and they mourn the loss of every single character death. Other writers see their characters as cogs in their glorious writing machine, and they feel nothing when they make them suffer. Nothing but pride and validation. Additionally, being super emotional about your writing can potentially be a hindrance. Sometimes you're so emotionally invested in your story, you can't see its flaws, or you may be unwilling to make necessary edits. Basically, this claim is false because it's subjective. Writing is art, and the emotional impact of art depends on the readers, not the writer. Number 9, self-publishing is easier than traditional publishing. If you genuinely believe that self-publishing is easier than traditional publishing, it's either because you've never self-published, you're self-publishing incorrectly, or you're a dumbass. People make this assumption because there's no rejection process. You don't have to query agents. You don't have to hope and pray that a publisher is going to pick your story. That doesn't mean it's easier. It may be quicker, sure, but not easier. Self-published authors have to do everything themselves. They have to research, vet, and select their own editors and cover artists. They have to format their novels and submit for copyright. They have to research and select publishing platforms and then upload, price, and publish their books. Traditionally published authors don't have to do any of that stuff. This is why it's really important to remember that self-publishing is a business decision. It isn't the easy way out because there is nothing remotely easy about it. It's a calculated move typically based on creative control and increased royalties, and in turn, you're putting in a lot more work. And number 10, you have to publish traditionally to be successful. I almost didn't add this one to the list, mostly because whenever you see people perpetuating this lie, they're either really old or really out of touch with the market. It's also almost not worth addressing this lie because all you have to do is look around to disprove it. There are countless examples of indie authors who are very successful and making bank, and honestly, I'm too exhausted to make that list for you. Google it. Truthfully, every single author I know personally who is supporting themselves off their writing is indie. That's not to say traditional publishing isn't a valid choice, but it stopped being the sole superior option a decade ago. Indies are in bookstores, we're in libraries, we're on bestseller lists, we're making money. Like I said, this lie is outdated, and if you want to perpetuate it, that's fine. Just know that you kind of look like the people trying to convince everyone the earth is flat. Indie has been a valid and lucrative option for years now, but if you got earmuffs on, that's not my problem. So that's all I got for you today. A huge thank you to Tremaine for requesting this topic. If you'd like the chance to have a video dedicated to you, or if you want access to tons of other rewards, check me out on Patreon. You get early access to my videos. There's an exclusive writing group. We have monthly live streams. You get signed books. It is super awesome. Check it out. It's linked below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I post new videos on Wednesdays, and if you want to be alerted as soon as I upload, ring that bell. The Savior's Champion and The Savior Sister are available in ebook, paperback, hardback, and audiobook, so if you want to check out my best-selling, award-winning dark fantasy romance series, and I know you do, definitely give them a look-see. They're linked below. do it. I will be forever grateful. And be sure to follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram, Tumblr, Facebook, and BookBub. And of course, you can tweet me at Jenna Moreci. Bye.
Hey, this is Nick, the voice of Tobias and the narrator for The Saviour's Champion, written by our Jenna. If you enjoy her writing advice, or if you want to find out about her publications, then you know what to do. Click the subscribe button, ding the bell, and you'll get notified every single time she puts up a video or she goes live. Now what are you waiting for?